Dukes of Weebdom!
Dukes of Weebdom!
Episode 50.
The big 50.
The big 5-0. Almost a year. Well, I don't remember the exact date. I mean, I think we missed some weeks, so it's been a year at least.
Let's see if I guess the date.
Look at you.
February 11th, 2023.
Holy shit. It's February 13th, so
yep, it's been a
year. 1 year. Woo! Light the sparklers, the little blow pop thing.
Here's resolution: read more manga.
I read some more. I mean, we've both been reading more. You,
yeah, actually, I finished a volume's worth of 20th Century Boys now.
Nice. And I finished the volume. Well, I actually think I mentioned that already. I finished a Berserk Deluxe volume.
And as you saw, I say one of the weekend days, I started volume 10 of Dorohedoro.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. How many do you own of Dorohedoro?
10.
Oh.
Well, I lent out the first two, and I'm probably going to have to rebuy the first two.
You don't think you're getting those back?
I don't think I'm getting those back.
Brutal.
Yeah. That's fine. I mean, it's like 24 volumes long, keep in mind, so I'm almost halfway through.
Is it over?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're on to their next manga, Die Dark. I think that's like 4 or 5 volumes in.
Die Dark?
Die Dark.
Interesting title. I mean, hey, it's a lot better than some of these light novels I have.
Artistically, it looks just like Dorohedoro, but it's about a space skeleton that rides a motorcycle through the cosmos.
So Ghost Rider in space.
Yes.
Well, see, that looks more like he's wearing, like, a skeleton over a head. You
well,
know what I mean?
You know what? Yes. Actually, it does look like that.
Because he has no mouth or nose.
He has no mouth and he must scream. That one's more skeleton-y.
Yes, that was much more skeleton-y.
But all in all, it looks exactly like Dorohedoro. Like...
That looks like a space council.
Right.
Just 3 dudes sitting on thrones.
3 very evil-looking dudes.
Subverting expectations. The evil-looking guys are the good guys.
I did see someone I follow comment that Die Dark's a little easier to digest than Dorohedoro, and I'm like, thank God. Woo!
What's hard to digest about Dorohedoro?
The world. The world is very manic. You know, it's like a Gege problem, but with world building, where it's just like, I got this cool idea, I'm going to put it right in there. I'm going to put this one in there. It's like the rules change as they have fun ideas. Just piling on weird ideas.
Yeah.
And, like, it doesn't not work. It's just very silly feeling sometimes. The rules are very high conceptualization. Like the yearly night that zombies rise from the dead because of the seeped-in magic that gets in their victims. Or how sorcerers literally have a day of the year where they go through a ritual to get, like, partners. They literally open up your chest, take a contract out of your body that's an organ, sign it, and then shove it back in your chest. And it, like, links you.
The only purpose is that it links you with whoever signs.
Yeah, it feels like something that only needed, like... To be fair, that one was a little more important to the story. I'd say maybe 5 chapters of relevance. Because someone does that, like, to one of the main characters, and you can see the actual effect it has on them. But still...
Yeah, it's weird.
It's very fast and loose. Yeah.
Wild, wild, westy.
It gives it a silly vibe, though. I like that. And then
Different.
You turn around and the violence is ultra violent still.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it's trying to be its own thing and not follow the norms of manga, you know what I mean?
Yes. You can feel Q Hayashida's love for Slipknot. Because I've mentioned it before that it's heavily inspired. She's heavily inspired by Slipknot in general. But I kind of get that feel even in the tone. Like, the look is very dark, but it still doesn't take itself super seriously.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I was to read it, it'd be, like, way at the bottom of my list.
At least I have the physical, so I can literally just be like,
Here you go.
Here you go. Once I buy 1 and 2 again.
Yes. Here's volume 3. Read this.
Start there.
What? But it makes no sense.
Well, I'll make you watch the anime, and then I'll just give you the volumes after that.
I don't know.
The hot poker. Season 2's coming.
Yeah, but the anime is like, I don't know, super CGI'd.
It is very CG. It's very janky. I definitely would pick the manga over it. I think there's so many ways the manga does better. Specifically, Cayman emoting. Like in the manga, he's got smiles, he's got silly eyes, he got like fun. But in the CGI, the model's so strict and predefined that it doesn't emote as much. And then the violence just looks a little janky sometimes too. Because it's like a 3D model moving through space. It looks kind of video gamey sometimes.
Yeah.
Read the manga.
Maybe. But I was going to say something. I forgot what it was. Oh, well, speaking of manga and reading the manga, if I was to read Dorohedoro, I'd have to finish like the backlog that I got going on right now. So, like, I still plan, like, physical-wise, I just got to finish Berserk.
In fact, start reading my Vagabond.
Start reading your Vagabond, too. Have you read my Berserk yet?
No. It's under my 20th Century Boys and How Fascism Works. And Goodbye, Eri. I think that's the pile now. And my partner's Reagan Mob Psycho volume.
Cool. Wait, is it Reagan side story?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think it's some OVAs that are out in Mob Psycho, last I checked.
That's another anime I need to catch up on, too. I've only seen season 1. You're staring blankly at
My
me.
stunned silence. Yeah. Genuinely stunned. Season 2 bangs so hard. And honestly,
I heard great things. I heard great things about season 3, too.
I think it was season 2 that I almost cried. Or did cry. I think I did cry. Season 3's not as good. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to drop the hot take. It's not nearly as good as season 2 was.
No?
No. In fact, I like the side stories and like little things that come in season 3 a lot more than the ongoing plot stuff that comes towards the end of season 3. Like there's a couple like little side stories and they're just better.
Well, I mean, sometimes side stories are better because they're short, self-contained, quick little snippets.
If you do it right, you still get like nice themes and things to think about. Because one of the episodes I thought would be the worst in season 3, I think is the best. But I'm just going to hold off on talking about that until you see it. But season 2. Bangs. They were all right. I doubted them too. I went like a whole year or 2 after season 2 came out being like, I don't need to watch it. I see the Shimazaki fight on YouTube. I saw the best part already. I don't need to see it.
It's just good.
It's slapping. It's slapping so hard. And it is the best fights in Mob Psycho. That's like a objective truth. 2 of the best fights in the whole series are in the latter half of season 2. One you've definitely seen with the teleporting guy.
Yeah, when there's like
have shown you
there's
that
like
fight.
5 or 6 dudes that all gang up on him. He just beats everyone's ass.
That's probably like my favorite anime fight. Just period. I just love how that fight's directed.
Oh, that's not even a fucking can of worms I even want to think about
Oh,
opening.
are we doing that for a special? Make you think a month over it?
I don't even know what like my top 5 would be. I can't. There's so many good fights
That one's
in anime.
definitely in my top 5. The shot that really nails it is when he grabs Teru's head, the blonde kid, smashes into a wall, teleports, smashes it into a car window, teleports, they're in the air, and he's holding them up. It just looks so clean.
That is pretty cool. Now you got me thinking about just anime fights in general. Just so many good ones.
I mean it. Think over this for a while.
Maybe we'll do that for episode 52. Like,
yeah, I want to give you 2 or 3 weeks to think on it.
Because while right now, technically it's 2 days after a 1 year date anniversary, we don't have like 52 is like 52 weeks in the year. It's like the
Is it 52? I thought it was 54. I trust you more. I'm definitely wrong.
It's definitely 52. Yeah. Okay. 52 weeks in the year. And so yeah, maybe we'll do that for.
Start thinking on it then. Get a notepad ready because that's going to be a big thinker. You're going to have to.
There's no way I can reduce it down to 5. We'll have to do top 10.
Oh yeah.
Top 10 anime fights of all time.
I already got some in my brain that I'm like,
IML.
that's definitely there. That's definitely there. So I can tell you right now, fucking Mugen versus Jin, the first time they fought. That's up somewhere in my 20, that's for sure. I don't know about 10, but it's definitely up in like a 20 safely.
That's Mob Psycho, right?
No,
Samurai Champloo. Yeah.
The first time Mugen and Jin see each other and start fighting.
That's when they're in the.
Yeah,
he blocks his attack with the sandal, right?
Yeah,
in the middle of the fight. Yeah,
because it shows off what there is to love about both characters so well.
That is a dope ass fight too.
And hooks you right into the show.
You know what the problem is? This gonna be fights that I'm just like completely forget about because I tend to do that a lot when I try and like hard focus on like make it so like if someone to like say perfect example because there's so many of them would be which I would never be able to answer ever in my life. What's your favorite like your top favorite songs? So, I don't know.
I could answer that.
There's like. Like, what are your top 5 songs? I don't know. There's like 50 of my top 5 favorite songs. There's like 50 songs I'd put in there. You know what I mean? And there's so many.
Nah, I'd win.
Same with, I could name maybe my top 3 favorite bands, but then the next 50 are all on like the same tier.
Nah, I'd win.
See, I can't do that. Or then like, because then I'll be like naming songs, right? And then I'll think of like a song.
It is harder for songs.
6 hours later. Oh no, I like this song better than that song. But then this.
Because then you also get into the conundrum: is it going to be like 3 songs from my favorite band, 2 songs from other people? Do I do 1 song from my favorite band, even though I probably like 10 songs from my favorite band more than the next person down?
Or just put a whole album as a 1-slot song.
Why am I tempted to put this one sleeper song from a band that's not in my top 50 as the number 1 song?
Sleepless, Dalen Axion.
Polar Bear, Pussifer.
Pussifer has so many good songs, though.
Polar Bear's my favorite.
Toma's fucking lit.
Toma slaps.
Rev 20.
You know what? I got a really
2022.
Yes. I got a really good anime equivalent for a sleeper. Hey versus Way.
Yeah.
Original Edward versus Greed.
The original is better than the Brotherhood one.
The cinematography on it for a 6 minute scene, that cinematography is literally like gold.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. There's gonna be some honorable mentions for sure.
I think one qualifier. I'm gonna sit down one rule now.
Okay.
It has to be from an anime you've seen.
Yes.
That way you don't go and be like, this one fight from that anime I haven't seen on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because I say that to disqualify all those godly Chinese ones from animes we have not watched.
Well, the one I did show you that one time we were talking about it, the one with the
Is it
water
the park
bottle
one?
Yeah, it's
with the masked people, and he does like a little bit of judo in there.
Yeah, and they're fighting over a water bottle.
Are they fighting over a water bottle? I don't think
he has one in his hand. They're trying to get the water bottle from him.
He's wearing like a baseball cap, no mask. Yeah.
See,
he flips like 2 different people.
Yeah, I've seen. That's from season 2 or season 3.
So you have actually watched that one.
I've seen seasons 1 and 2, but season 3 isn't translated yet, or on at least I don't think so. Maybe got like Sleeper translated and put on Crunchyroll that I didn't know, or out wherever I watched it. I don't even know if it was on Crunchyroll or Hulu or something. I watched it. I just don't remember. But I watched it so much so that I don't even remember the plot. It's been that long ago since I've watched it. Gonna have to rewatch that because that shit was slapped too. That was a good story. But anyway, so I haven't seen that from season 3, but I've seen the anime. Does that count?
Yeah.
Or what about, because
Yeah, I would count that. I care more that at least it's a show that you're invested in more than a random fight you saw. Like, I would possibly even put the Momoshiki fight in there because I have watched some of Boruto.
I was just about to mention that, but I was like, I don't want to bring Boruto
I watched
into this.
well past that, in fact. So,
well, if you've watched past even the fight, you've seen it live in the episode. You know what I mean?
yeah, because I'm pretty sure the Shin fight happens later than that. I think so. I don't really fucking remember. But if we watch past that,
it's gonna be a banger episode. Yeah, I spent a lot of time thinking on that one though.
a lot of YouTube researching.
I'm just gonna have to start jotting shit down as I think about it. Like, oh shit.
And any reasons too, if you think it's like the emotional resonance, but even if it looks not that great, you know what I mean? Whatever reason for it to be a favorite fight.
Number 1 favorite fight in all of anime history, period. Bunchichi versus the car.
Oh, Tenjo Tenge.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, how am I supposed to put... how am I supposed to not put Takayanagi versus Nagi?
Sengoku Basara.
I don't remember a single fight.
So many.
Sorry, correction. I don't remember a single scene.
What?
Not even a singular moment. Character designs I remember, but I can't remember if it's because I've also played the video game for that anime.
Well, you're gonna have to rewatch Sengoku Basara then.
Oh, that ain't happening.
What? It's so good though. All 3 seasons are on. Even the one that we didn't see is on Crunchyroll.
It's not out of hatred for Sengoku Basara. It's out of there's so many other things to watch.
It's true, and you have a limited watch time.
I did watch more JoJo's too, so
Yes. More filler episodes.
yeah. I realized after hitting play that I didn't actually finish the fight with the sword guy, but now I did.
Yeah.
I saw the next stand user.
Just that's gonna be a tough one too. Just for just that's what shonen is. It's just battle shonen. Just so many.
The JoJo fight might make it. It's gonna be tough too. Be tough. Do I go Joseph versus Cars or do I go Jotaro versus Dio?
Is it Caesar versus Fallen Rebel? Is that Caesar? It is Rebel that kills Caesar, right?
I'm pretty sure it is. In a fight with somebody, though. But yes.
Poor Caesar.
Poor Caesar. Right when he showed off his super cool Hamon attack, all special to him. Literally, he debuts it and then dies.
Damn. Poor dude.
Big sad. His own fucking fault. But big sad.
It's his own fault.
It is his own fault. Pretty sure he ran ahead of the whole party to go fight Wamu. If I remember correctly.
That's what you get, I guess.
Which sadly, I know all the bastardized English copyright-free JoJo names. I'm pretty sure Wamu would be Wham. Because they're all named after bands and shit.
Oh. Is that why it's copyright and shit?
Yeah. I'll send you a video. It wasn't New World Order. He did the fucking Spiders one. But so there's a video that goes through all of the, names they changed for English and what they changed them to and from.
That's hilarious. You think the subtitles will just keep it though, because it's subtitles?
No, because it's releasing in America. In fact, you're better off trying to hear what the Japanese person's saying to hear what the actual names are. You know what I mean? The subtitle is what's going to be localized.
It's funny.
So you'll hear him say Black Sabbath, and it'll be White Mass.
White Mass.
They try to get really silly with it. I know Oh, God, I wish I could remember what Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap is. I think it was literally inexpensive something. Like, they literally go with, like, a thesaurus.
That's
Inexpensive jobs done at a reasonable price. That's literally what they call it. I'm not even fucking joking. Are these
stands called this?
Yes, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
Does the stand user name the stand, or does when they get it, the name already exists?
You know, that's a toss-up. Sometimes it was given to them. Sometimes, I swear to God, they have to come up with it themselves. Just Rocky decides as it goes. Because originally, in part 3, they're all named after, like, cards of a tarot deck. Like, the one person's the chariot. But you run out of tarot deck cards pretty fucking fast. So...
Especially in a show as long as Jojo's is.
By the time part 3's over, they're already done like that. When we entered Egypt, they're named after Egyptian gods now.
Well, especially... Well, it makes sense. Because Egypt, I mean, you can't not do that.
Yeah, I went from the chariot to fighting Anubis.
Especially when you said once they get to Egypt, they're like, oh, here's 12 more stand users we have to fight.
The Jotaros is just Star Platinum. That's one of the first stands you see.
I'm possessed. I must stay in this jail.
And then after that, Rocky's just like, fuck it, I'm just doing band names.
Whatever works, right?
Hell yeah. D4C. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
That's funny.
I can't wait for part 7. Thankfully, I don't know how the fight goes, but I do know who has that stand and what it does.
Don't you need to catch up first, though? Or are you just going to be a bad boy and skip around?
I'm so tempted. Part 3 is dragging, man.
Why don't you just skip past it and get to the Dio stuff?
It's funny. I've already watched those episodes. The Dio ones. Way back. I literally was like, man, where's the Dio fight? I'm scrolling through all the episodes. I'm like, Dio's World Part 1. Hit play and watch those 3 episodes. It's literally the end of Part 3.
Well done.
So I really could just, like, skip it. But I'm not going to. I will be a JoJo fan. Plus, I know characters die for sure, and I will be there for those deaths.
There you go.
Especially since at least 2 of the characters are in other parts. I know Jotaro's in 2 more parts, and Polnareff's in another part.
Nice.
Yes. Through my big, thick spoiler brain. It's also why I want to get to part 7, so I can just get out of all these spoilers I have.
I know, like, no spoilers. I mean, I've seen random scenes that are just so out of context for me that they wouldn't even be spoilers.
Have you not seen the whole Dio fight?
No.
I recommend to you to go into season 3.
I probably have in...
No.
Like...
The entire Dio fight. There's no way you've seen it all in clips. No, it is fucking long.
Yeah, okay.
It's not DBZ long, because there's shit happening. But there's so many... I guess they're all clippable moments, to be fair. But they're long, because they're constantly explaining what they're doing, too. Like, again, the moment where Dio stops time, and then he's like... Is Jojo actually dead? Smells dead. Let me listen to the ground. Let me look at him from here, 5 feet away. Okay, now I'll approach to do a final move. Not too close yet.
It doesn't something...
He could be faking.
Does he twitch or something and he jumps away?
Oh, Jotaro. There's a whole section where he fucking slips into the sewer, then pops out and grabs onto a car. Like,
what does Star Platinum do again that allows him to fight while time is stopped?
He just kind of has the same power, but didn't know it yet.
So it's Star Platinum is the world, though?
Pretty much. Oh. He just couldn't stop timing, because by the end of the Dio fight, spoiler warning, he learns how to stop time.
Do you think that they just gave that to him to help fight against stopping time?
Probably. I mean, there is a logical reason there. Because when Dio used the arrow, he was in Jonathan's body. and that's what passed it to the Joestar bloodline immediately spiritually.
Right.
And as like kind of the most direct descendant, I guess it would kind of make sense.
So
I'm
all
ghostwriting
JoJo's can you stop time?
I think it would have been inferred that way. Like pure no. Someone already ruins that. To even say, I was gonna say like maybe the blood got more diluted after that, but Joseph, between Jonathan and Jotaro, has the world's worst stand. So
What's his stand?
he covers his hand in thorny purple vines. He can karate chops like.
I always forget that Joseph is the grandfather in part 3.
He's so great.
He was, and now he's not.
And he can like get precognition through devices. Like if he karate chops your TV with his stand, he could like see across the world through the TV. Like they try to locate Dio through that power.
So if he karate chops this TV, he could see
Where Dio is.
in front. If Dio's in front of a TV,
No, it'll just show them. where Dio
on
is.
the TV.
Though Dio has been known to look at like the perspective, like he will look to Joseph, so he knows he's being watched. There is something there, and he can use them as purple vines. But I mean, even compared to every other party member, it's nothing. You got flames, you got emeralds that like shoot through you, and star platinum.
and Golden Requiem.
That's later.
I know.
Yeah.
In terms of,
I was about to say
stand
part
powers.
4 in general is already like, besides stopping time, a power buff, because like the guy that can molecularly deconstruct you and reconstruct you by punching you, it's pretty.
Is Gold Requiem part 4 or 5? 5.
Gold Experience
Gold
Requiem.
Experience, right.
I see. This is why I want to get into the show too, is because I can't wait to get into all the Araki forgot and weird Araki writing, because I know it happens in part 5 too. Giorno starts out with like an ability to like give life to inanimate objects, like I can punch the microphone and that's a fucking bird now. But then he also could heal at some points, and then later gets Gold Experience Requiem, which is a completely different power. I can't wait.
What's in part 6?
Jolene, the first female JoJo.
Oh, I thought that was part 7.
No, part 7 is going to be the disabled JoJo. In a race.
Cool.
It's
So
like
it's
wacky racers kind of
cars? Like Tokyo
Cars,
Drifted?
horses, whatever will transport you, I believe.
Huh.
It's in like frontier America, if I'm not mistaken as well.
So it's a time back. Well, again, didn't you say some weird shit happens with the timeline?
As weird shit as in spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, being completely rewritten. Yes.
Yes.
By the end of part 6, the main bad guy wins and rewrites the timeline.
Oh. Spoilers over.
Spoilers over.
Fuck all that noise.
I know it's like more like the end of it's more complicated than that. I don't think it's just like unanimous. Ha ha ha! I've beaten you, good guys. Ha 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 ha! Like I think he's like probably like dying to some degree as it happens, but the result's the same.
Now
Wibbly
spoilers
wobbly
over.
timeline.
Wibbly wobbly timey-wimey.
Yeah. But they also say that that's the transition Araki made, going from 6 to 7, going from shonen to seinen.
Uh-huh.
So again, I'm really excited for what that really entails.
Right. Okay.
Soon. It's the next season to be produced someday.
Well, is it written?
Oh yeah. Part 8's done in the manga.
Oh, fuck. What's part 8?
Like a mystery.
As in you don't know? Or it is
No,
a mystery?
as in the tone of it is mystery. What I know about it is the main dude has 4 testicles. And,
Cool.
like every JoJo part, I know what the main bad guy's stand does. Because I just can't help myself.
What's the stand do?
if you've seen the main bad guy or his stand before, and you think about wanting to find him, horrible cataclysmic shit happens to you. Literally, like meteors falling on you, levels of bad luck. Like,
that's an amazing ability to stay hidden from people.
And he's one of the few people whose stand doesn't have to be near him. It just shows up in the town sometimes. So if you just see it, and then later that day you're like, man, I need to find out who killed that guy. Then, like, pencils fall from a desk upstairs into your eye sockets.
That sucks.
I forgot what it's called, but right when I started, even just seeing him, I was like, I want to know what this stand does.
That's brutal, man.
That's why I'm like, I always have to know. The main bad guy's stands are always peak.
And the good guys' stands are always, like, so weird.
Pretty basic. Until they get their super boost, in which they're ridiculous, massive conceptual problems, like all the main bad guys.
Hey, man.
Wonder of You.
That's its name?
Yeah. And not the creepy picture I was hoping for, but that's what the stand looks like.
Is that a cane, or is he, like, walking with suitcases?
No, that's a cane.
Boss. Cool. Hey, it's so different, right? So
excited. Yeah, I need to actually, like, put my money where my mouth is and actually start consuming JoJo's instead of just reading the wikis all the time.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure there's some JoJo fans out there that are, like, raging listening to you say that statement just now.
Probably raging at a lot of the specifics for the powers, too. Be like, that's not how that stand works.
He's talking out his ass right now.
Have you not even seen its stats in the data book?
There's a data book?
Probably. Oh, yeah, because there's always data books. Give me the panel I want.
Gross.
Give it to me.
Never.
No, seriously, never. Because there's just a picture I loved, which is what got me into looking up everything about Part 8, where it's just like 50 of that stand floating in the sky facing different directions. It's just like creepypasta levels.
And now everyone has seen it. So now everyone that wonders, oh, what's going on with that thing that's flying in the sky?
I might want to find it. Nope. Well, like quite literally. Something in your eye.
Brutal.
But enough JoJo's.
Enough of the JoJo's.
So yes, we gotta think about fights. These next couple weeks.
So many to choose from. I'm gonna try and look for some hidden bangers.
We're limiting it to just anime. Or we put in manga there too.
I would say the same anime.
Anime?
Yeah. Because, I mean,
it does change things.
I'm sitting here thinking there's probably only 3 fights that I would even consider putting from manga into
the
3.
List. Maybe 4, but about 3.
But that's not even guaranteed that all 3 would make the list. So 1 would be Gojo versus Sukuna. For me.
That was my maybe 4.
Then Kaneki versus Amurai, I think is his name is. The white-haired guy. Their final fight in the manga. I don't even know if that was animated, to be honest with you. Because I just stopped watching the anime because it was so bad. It might be there, like a horrible rendition of it, but because
a bastardization.
Yeah, it's like 3 chapters long, I think, or something like that. And there's no way they spent 3 chapters worth in the anime on anything. But then the other one would be Bunshinchi versus Tokiomi.
Tatsuomi.
I thought it was Tokiomi.
No, that's the bird guy from MHA.
Could be the same name.
Could be.
But yeah, that fight is just so good. Still the most boss thing in the world. Fuck. He's throwing Tachinkos at Bunshinchi, and he's dodging them. He throws a cigarette, flips it, catches it in his mouth while dodging it, and then lights the cigarette on one of the Tachinkos, and then just stands in front of him. I love you.
I had a few too, but I had my JJK one, which was Yuta versus Sendai Colony.
I knew it would be.
Yeah, you bet your ass it would be. Veto versus like all of the Black Bulls in Black Clover. Still think that's the best Black Clover fight, hands down.
I watched Mariona. I can't say her name. I'm sorry.
No, that was a really good. That was pretty damn straight on. Marieliona.
I watched a fight of hers from apparently a movie. She fought some girl with she could summon a bunch of like knights, and they were fighting in the middle of a desert. I don't know if it's from a Black Clover movie or not. I think
there's a Black Clover movie. I haven't watched it yet.
Well, it was boss. I was like, oh,
she's a boss.
Now I see why. Who's her like rival? Because she mentions it in the fight. She's like, I have to remain the strongest, or I can't be a rival to that person. I hate when they say that shit.
I don't know. Fugelian, but I don't really feel like she respects Fugelian like that.
Unless at the time she meant Julius, maybe?
Glad you didn't say Asta. I would have thrown up.
No.
I
don't know anything about Black Clover.
I don't feel like she'd even have a rival, period. Like, her whole story is that she could have been in charge of, like, God, Golden something. No, because that's the good. The fire
people.
The fire nobles. She could have been the leader, but she's like, nah, I'm not here for that bureaucratic shit. I'm going to go survive in the woods and swim through lava and shit and just go be one with nature and fight nature. Yeah.
I was watching that fight and I was like, yo, the quote, this is like some Hokage level shit where you got to be the strongest to be Wizard King, and so that means Asta needs to be stronger than this lady. And I was like, I don't know anything what Asta's bag is, but I was like, I don't think he's got this.
So she's a fucking boss.
Anyway, what would be your third manga fight that you may put on there? Would have in anyway.
It was for a similar reason to that last one too.
One dude versus a bunch.
Oh no, it's actually completely opposite. Denji versus Reize.
Oh.
I fucking love that fight.
For the themes, the thematic reasons, or you just?
Like I think that is the best visual fight in Chainsaw Man. Like the way it ends too is like touching and themes and stuff. But I just like the whole thing, like from when Reize transforms to when the fight ends, because there's a whole lot of different moments. Like there's one part where Denji's in half. They pull him into a car, into Kobeni's car, start driving, and then Reize's in the road with the decapitated heads of people that went after her. Like, that fight is such a grindhouse action flick. It's...
Next season.
Next movie.
It's a movie?
It's going to be a movie.
Oh.
Chainsaw Man, Reize.
Why do they got to do these things?
I know. That was my biggest complaint, is putting her on the cover and naming the movie after her. Can we go in... Can the blind people go in blind instead of knowing how important this girl is?
I don't know if it was you or my wife that said it, or both of you, but I guess the Demon Slayer movie that we thought was going to be is coming out, but like I said too, I was pretty sure it wasn't. It's the last episode of the arc that just happened and the first episode of the next arc. They're releasing as a special, like 1 hour.
I thought they were doing multiple movies to end it.
Maybe
I guess not, though.
Maybe for like... I just don't think that would work either, because...
From what I heard, it was supposed to... And again, grain of salt, I could absolutely be wrong. I thought it was supposed to be 3 more movies to wrap up the rest of the show.
I don't think that's enough.
Fair. I don't...
Personally,
I don't know.
Like, time slot-wise, just in the sense... Well, I mean, maybe, because you gotta think about it. When you translate in a fight, like... Gojo versus Sukuna is a fucking 12 chapters long.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
It's going one episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking with the episode Reize movie too. Is it's only like 14 chapters, and most of that is Reize fighting Denji.
Because Demon Slayer, they have the Hashira training arc where because they know at this point you didn't finish season 3.
No, I didn't start season 3. It's so funny because my partner literally never brings up starting it.
Have you brought it up, or he just forgot?
No, he just never brings it up either. We both know it's out.
It's definitely the weakest Demon Slayer's ever been.
Yeah.
I
got that vibe from the fan base.
And the problem is because when I read it, I binged through it. At that time, when I was reading it, and then it came off. It was sandwiched in between two great things, like the hype of what's to come in the next season, and the hype you just got off of the last season. Like that's good. That's
yeah. Because I mean, I was all in the Red Light District arc.
So good. And then
for all of it too, not even just the fighting, like even like the story that led up to it was actually just fun.
So there's some lore bits that you get in season 3. It's a little. It gets to the action faster than the Red Light District did, because there's a lot more setup for that with them going incognito and like all that shit.
So good.
There's not much of that. Like episode 3 of the season 3, it's like you're in the fight already. It's just, and I also felt like in the manga, Upper Moon 4 felt like way more of a threat than they did in the anime when I was watching. I was like, I feel like this shit was like, I don't know if they rushed through it, but
that or how much they bougied up the fights leading up to there, and then they just couldn't bougie that one up the same way, maybe
because I already knew the Upper Moon 5 would get stomped on, and people lost the meaning behind why that happened, because it's like threefold. The dude, the Upper Moon himself, is hyper overconfident to his own detriment. He thought that he already killed the Hashira. And 3, the main point is because in the previous arc, when Tengen goes through his cycles, his inner monologues, he mentions how he could never be as flamboyant as Rengoku. He looks up to Rengoku, and he could never be as what do you call this? Like a talented or as genius as Murichio. And Murichio's the one that one-shots the Upper Moon 5. Now, there's other circumstances that led up to it, but he does. It's a very, very quick fight, and it's to show the power gap too. Because I love Tengen too. He's one of my favorites, but he's the second weakest of the Hashira. Right? All of the other Hashira you've seen are stronger than him, except one.
Who's the one?
Shinobu.
Okay.
Shinobu even says it when you first meet her. She's like, I'm too weak to decapitate, so I have to rely on poison. So, there's that.
Yeah.
But, so she has strengths in other regards, but, so he's the least talented or whatever, so here's one of the most talented and what he can do type deal. But then, that's really it, and then you fight the other one with the girl, the Love Hashira.
Yeah.
Tanjiro. Genya. Love Genya.
I'm surprised you didn't remember her name, but you remember Genya's name.
It's like Mitsuri or something like that, yeah. But it's just like you said too, the stakes aren't there.
Yeah.
You could feel the stakes. You like anyone watching season 2 for the first time, no spoilers at all. You don't know if who's gonna die. Tengen could die. His wife.
Weirdly enough, Tanjiro almost died like 3 separate occasions in that final fight.
Inosuke too.
Yeah.
No one. There's one thing at the end that I'm trying to avoid spoilers for you, that you would be like, oh, that person is totally dead, and turns out they're not, and which is also leads into the next arc where the whole next arc happens. But Hashira training arc is short because it's just everyone knows Muzan's going to be coming for him now, and they're just preparing. So Inosuke, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and everyone else you've ever met, Genya, and all of them are going through training with each of the Hashira to get them stronger for the final fight. But then the final fight happens, and there's just so many different fights. But like I was saying, you can take a fight and compact it down a bit.
Even as you add original content, it's still cutting so much pacing wise.
But I think that final arc, I mean, I could be wrong. I thought it was somewhere around like 80 to 90 chapters long. I could be like way off. I'm just gonna do a quick Google right now. How many chapters Steam Slayer final arc? Oh Jesus. 69 chapters.
Too bad.
So split that in half in 3 ways for 3 movies. You know what I mean? That's what, 20... Just shy, so it's like, what, 23 chapters a piece? Give or take? A chapter or 2?
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad with all the fighting, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe it's doable, but 23 chapters for one movie seems excessive because 12 chapters was what was Mugen Train. 14 is what Reze is going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's around that general teens ballpark.
Yeah, so you're adding, you're now 1.5 in your chapter count for it, but maybe that's what they're doing.
And again, you can't underestimate how much of that Reze arc is like fighting too.
Yeah, true. But I don't know. I like just release the fucking shit, man.
Yeah, I'm not a movie guy to begin with. I just watched a banging movie though this week.
Oh,
banging movie.
What's it?
A friend over, me, my partner, and a friend watched Bullet Train with Brad Pitt.
Oh, is that the assassin one when they're fighting? Yeah, I've seen scenes of that.
Bro, it is so goddamn good. If you still have Netflix, go watch that whole fucking movie. It is so fucking good.
I love the scene where the female stabs him with the syringe, and then he like takes it out and stabs her. And then she takes out the antidote and he steals it. It's like, oh, you don't have a second? She's like, no, you son of a bitch.
Oh, you really should have, man. This is the benefits of preparation. Brad Pitt kills it in that. The whole fucking movie is just hilarious and great. It's all that. Just, there's so many assassins on the train.
Just add in more assassins to our life. Everything is assassins.
The amount of people they got for this fucking movie, like they got Channing Tatum for like 3 lines. They got Ryan Reynolds for literally 1 scene without lines.
That was because because Brad Pitt did that, because Brad Pitt's in Deadpool 1 for all of 3 seconds.
Tatum back.
Yeah, because he's the invisible guy that gets electrocuted when they all parachute down.
Oh, shit.
It's just Brad Pitt there for a second.
It's fucking awesome. Literally, there's one scene towards the end where someone just takes off their motorcycle helmet, and it's Ryan Reynolds. And then it cuts back to what's actually happening.
Yeah, so it's definitely payback for that, yep.
Oh, it's so goddamn good. I was riveted.
Nice. Speaking of Ryan Reynolds, did you see the trailer for Deadpool 3?
I did not. I haven't seen Deadpool 2.
It's alright.
It's alright? I wanted to see it for cable, but I just didn't.
Nah, see it for Juggernaut.
For Juggernaut? I have seen that one clip of him just ripping Deadpool in half.
Oh my god, it's the Juggernaut! Yeah. Deadpool 1.
I've been meaning to watch 2.
It's good.
It's just one of those things where I didn't think they could follow up 1 because 1 was so good.
I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's just 1's better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's why 3 can come around and be like, here's the lessons we learned. Here's a banger.
It seems to be a lot less Wolverine-y than it looks like, even though it's called Deadpool and Wolverine. Have you seen Loki? No,
Loki,
right?
No.
On Marvel, because it's them. When they showed up, it's the TVA, the people that it's bringing him into the MCU, kind of, but not really. Because so I'll explain it to you. It's so in Loki, in Endgame.
Oh no. Oh no.
In Endgame, they have to go back in time to steal the Infinity Stones.
I was almost scared you're gonna go in Winter Soldier.
No. Technically. No. Technically in Avengers 1. So in Endgame, they go back in time to steal the Infinity Stones, bring them back here, snap once, and then bring the Infinity Stones back in time to where in time they stole them so they don't fuck with the timeline. Well, in one of them, they go back to Avengers 1 because there's 3 Infinity Stones in New York at the same day. So they go back in a team, and 3, they split all off to go get them. So Tony Stark, well, Iron Man and Ant-Man go to get the Tesseract. They have it, but Hulk comes out of a door because he was forced to take the stairs and smacks Iron Man with it when he's dressed as a soldier, holding the Tesseract. And the briefcase goes flying, it falls out, and it goes sliding, and it lands next to Loki. And Loki's like, looking, so he picks it up, grabs it, and teleports away. That wasn't supposed to happen. So the timeline broke there. So that's where Loki season 1 starts. This is the new Loki in his timeline. What's he doing? The TVA comes in and takes it. They're like the Time Watchers. So they come and fix broken...
I don't know what it is, but I know it's a location in Marvel Snap. It makes it so that the game ends on turn 4. Continue.
Oh. So they're basically like the time wardens or whatever, to make it simple. They like if there's a singularity in the time, like they know what the main time, the sacred timeline they call it, is supposed to be the true timeline. So if there's branches or something of like things going out of order, they go into the branch and they fucking trim it.
It's totalitarianism. How dare I trust the state's version of what the timeline should be?
At the end of it, you find out that he who remains, King the Conqueror, is the founder of all of it. So it's
so I'm right.
Yes.
Oppression.
In a way, but the timeline's pretty fucked up right now because they killed.
Who decides what's sacred?
He does. It's actually really good. But anyway, so...
Timeline communism. Continue.
They have a very specific outfit and a very specific way of travel. It's like these yellow doors open and they walk through it. And as soon as I saw it in the Deadpool trailer, I was like, hey, that's the TVA. What the fuck? And then it literally is. They bring him in and they're like, hey, we're the TVA. And I was like, what the fuck? So they're bringing him to go to... So it's their way of using the TVA to bring... Deadpool to alternate timelines and stuff. But it's called Deadpool and Wolverine. And you see Wolverine shadow at the very end of the trailer. And that's it. And I'm like, huh. How much Wolverine's going to be in it? How much Hugh Jackman's like actually going to be in it? But it does look funny as fuck. I'm looking forward to it.
I could suffer through wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff for Deadpool. He exists for.
You should do it for Loki. You don't need to know anything about the MCU to watch Loki, other than what is shown in the first 5 minutes, because they recap everything for you. Don't look at me like that. It's
so
true.
I need to know.
Every answer you will ever have is answered in the first section.
Is it going to raise more questions?
No. Not for the MCU side. There'll be questions raised for the Loki side that as you go through Loki, you'll get those answers. I'm telling you. Because it completely sidetracks it. They don't interact anymore. It's his own Loki in his own story. What are you Googling up?
There it is.
What are you trying to Google? Oh, the Daenerys face. Yeah.
I was like, I need backup.
Literally, what I just explained to you tells you everything. The reason he's around and what's happening.
Actually, me and my partner might start WandaVision.
WandaVision's fucking cool too, but I feel like WandaVision, you'd need to know more
Yeah,
things.
I'm scared of that.
But like, they do a good, because like in the beginning of the Loki thing, he's talking to someone literally in an interview room, and they go over his entire life on a TV screen. All of the big moments of Loki. So you don't need to watch any of the Thor movies. You don't need to watch any of the Avengers movies.
Like,
they cover everything.
I hate to say it, I don't give a single fuck about Thor.
Thor Ragnarok's the only one I'd recommend watching for anyone that would want to watch a Thor superhero movie. I mean, Thor 1 is just alright. It was the weakest of like the Gen 1
I still
movies.
find it so shocking that Stan Lee was just like, let me just grab this mythology, and yep, that's a comic book now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's damn near shameless.
Yeah. I got no defense. But that was Loki season 1 is good, and Loki season 2 is even better.
I'm tempted to, mostly because the person that plays Loki does such a good job.
Yes. I forget his name.
Me too. But I do recognize that he's very good.
I think it's Tom H. Something.
He's also very handsome.
I want to say
they dress him up
Hiddleston.
so sickly.
I want to say Tom Hiddleston. Or maybe. But yeah, no, he's really good. He does a great job.
Yep, Hiddleston.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston. I was right.
I would do it for him. I do it for him, and I do it again. Sorry, Steven Universe.
But
let's talk about some manga.
Because, that's what we do here.
It is what we do here.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Alright then. What manga?
Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man?
Chainsaw Man. Yep. Chainsaw Man. We have 2 Chainsaw Mans.
Fucking Bareem
Yes.
was committed to the cause, was going to actually shoot himself,
Yeah, blow
but
his
there was no
brains out.
bullets.
Well,
I mean,
first, let's go back one more chapter, because I'm not letting this go first. There's something we have to talk about from the chapter before.
Oh, did we not talk about the last chapter at all?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When I edited the last episode at the very end, we're like, shit, Chainsaw Man. Oh, well, next time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because Fumiko. You gotta talk about Fumiko.
And just up and leaving.
Yes. Yep.
Dumb bitch.
I'm a public servant first and a fan second. Risking my life to save him falls outside the scope of my job. When, 2 chapters ago,
And she's ready to suck his dick
I'm
for
the
cause.
one that'll keep you guys safe, was her exact words.
And 2 chapters before that, in the movie theater, if you lick that thing, I will suck your dick right now.
Yeah. And then, also, the creepy parallel between her and Asa's, I don't know what you would call it, adoptive guardian at the time. The one that was like, you can't have family while everyone else doesn't have family, so she, killed her cat.
Oh, I vaguely remember her, yeah.
Well, I feel a parallel there with Fumiko when Naruto says, we just lost our family. Don't you feel bad? Family? Weren't they only pets? Which,
yes, pets are family.
Which, once again, fastest way to get me to hate somebody. I hate you more than the people that killed the pets now. Because at least they knew what they were doing. And then she just zips. Gone.
Yeah, real
Weren't the only
fast.
pets? Gone.
And then Nayata putting in the work. Fucking ball shots and just killing all these bitches. Stop, I'm just a kid.
Oh, and then the
that's
stupid
right.
masses, too.
Now I remember. Because he points the gun at her first.
Yeah. So he knows it's out when he puts it to his own head.
Yeah.
He's just a pussy.
And then just starts screaming at him to be like, no, she's controlling me. I don't want to die.
And
then
with the clutch save.
that's it. We don't see what happens to her because it's like they charge. She looks all surprised, Pikachu face.
Mm-hmm.
And then it jumps backwards in time to when Denji first brought her home. Which was kind of cool to see, like, how she was in the beginning.
Yeah, kind of get her perspective on the situation. Yeah, I gotta give respect to Bream, though. Not for putting his own life on line, but just for having a really great plan for the situation.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you know what would work really well right here? Let's stoke the fires of this this mob and really get them after this little girl. And
a beautiful Fujimoto transition, as usual.
Oh, yeah.
The burning building back to it intact.
Yes.
I also like how she figured out she's mocking about using Denji's brain while he was sleeping.
Yes. I know we're jumping around a lot here, but also, did Denji actually kill his dad? I didn't remember that. I thought that, the gang killed him, or that he hung himself. I thought something like that.
That's what we know from, like, chapter 1. But towards the end with the don't open the door, Denji, that's the mental door he wasn't supposed to open. The fact that he, like, kind of buried that in his mind that he actually killed his dad.
Oh, I thought there was the literal don't open the door because Aki's the one knocking.
No, it was a both kind of situation. I think it actually wasn't even when Aki was at the door he realized it. It was in between that and when Power was at the door that he realized it.
Oh, yeah, so just Denji...
Don't open the door, Denji.
Just never open any door, Denji. Just let them walk away.
So, yeah, that was...
Aki was at the door. The metaphorical door that he put in his brain that he killed his dad. And then Power knocks on Makima's door.
It's never good.
Never good.
And then that same door. Right there.
What door? Where's that?
This door.
Oh, true. Corden 1 day later. So
yes,
we will not find out what happens tomorrow. We will have to wait until next week.
Also, no.
After not even next week's recording, because we'll be back on Mondays. The following week,
yes.
So 2 more recordings. Well, 2 because that's basically the only clothing he had when he was a kid. So his dad wasn't a very stand-up guy anyway. So
I really hope Naota's not dead.
Big same.
Because they're kind of foreshadowing this all along. The story has warned Denji at least 3 times that choosing Chainsaw Man would mean, in a way, sacrificing Naota. Very explicitly in one regard, with public safety telling him. I'm seeing a lot of conjecture now on, obviously, what...
Whoever the thing was in that chapter, in the last week's chapter.
Just the dude? Do you think that dude brought him all the way to the hospital?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Wow, who did you think brought him to the hospital?
It's going to be really shitty. I almost thought Fumiko did. I almost thought she abandoned Naruto to go to Denji. She did say that specifically to Naruto.
If that's the case, I hope Denji kills Fumiko.
I hope Fumiko dies regardless. And I saw some super base Chainsaw Man account I follow, apparently has a podcast. I only just found that out. Was saying that no one in the story has a vested interest in Naruto besides Kishibe. And Denji, of course, but Denji's not.
What would Kishibe's vested interest be? That
he's the one that set Denji up to be the parental guardian. Fumiko's not going to care. Yoshida's already threatened her.
It's weird too because they know who she is. It's the fucking control devil. You wouldn't want to fuck with that.
They're wrong.
Who's wrong?
That Twitter account. What if Famine comes in to save Naruto?
True.
And then just...
Well, maybe because...
Naruto is already ready to go to Famine's side.
Yeah, but Famine was more like War and Chainsaw Man are a big hope. She really didn't put any stock into Naya. She was just there.
She didn't.
She's like, "Oh, you want to join me, sister?"
Barely acknowledged her.
Yeah.
She did kind of like argue her side to Naruto, mostly, but in my opinion, mostly because Naruto's the one there that would actually understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see where I'm coming from, sister. So the Famine would take her.
I still think that Famine would step in at least
because that's more control to get what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the Yoshida Famine parallels with them staring at each other, though having that cafe conversation, which I still find so weird. But they seem like paralleled against each other, so I could see Naruto like fall into that side.
It's tough to say, but
we'll find out. Well, to be honest, we probably won't find out for a while.
Yeah.
We also haven't seen Asa since the apartment.
Asa could have been the one that found Denji on the side of the wall.
Or Naruto.
The fucking thing brought him to the hospital. Yeah.
Because to Asa, she'd be known. To Yoru, Yoru probably recognized her. Famine seemed to recognize her right away. She was doing something. She was fighting in the streets, relishing in the violence.
Would Asa... Well, would Yoru probably might recognize her, but would Asa recognize her? Because the one time they met, she put a chain through her face.
Yeah, Asa wouldn't recognize her.
Yeah.
But Yoru would see her and recognize her as control, at least. Not as that moment, because Yoru's mind is also wiped of that happening.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Mm.
Some things need to happen again. People need to interact.
I'm ready for Slow Saw Man to come back now.
Oh, it's coming back. That instant's over now, and Denji's in a hospital bed, so some time has passed.
Yep.
So it's going to be back to Slow Saw Man.
We're going to put bets. I mean, it's going to be a pretty easy bet. I bet Yoshida is going to be the first person to visit him.
100%.
1,000%.
I want it to be Kishibe.
But it's going to be Yoshida.
How many chapters into part 2 are we right now?
Oh, God. I don't remember when it started. Oh, God.
It's been a while. I feel like almost 100? No, not that many. Never mind. 50 chapters?
Oh, I wish you told me what chapter. Almost there. 98 is where part 2 started.
So, 57 chapters ago.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen Kishibe in 57 chapters.
Also, speaking of landmarks, and maybe we could switch mangas with this one. Did you know No Bars hasn't been in half the manga now?
I didn't know that it's been that long, huh?
It has been that long.
Poor Novara. Gege forgot.
Gege hates women. Notice the one capable woman still hasn't been in this final fight.
Truth. Though, I fucking called it! I fucking called it! Yuta doing Cleave.
Oh, yeah.
I was still hoping he would do Infinity, but fucking Sukuna basically just told us, like, you can't use it without Sensei's.
Well, that's what he thinks, too. He could still be wrong.
True.
I don't think he really necessarily needs it with the combination of other stuff he has.
I took a screenshot of someone on Twitter that said this, which is funny too because it was right below. You can see a tweet you made right above it. But I think they're wrong because someone in the comment refuted the same thing I was thinking anyway. So he says he put the paper where Yuta uses the cursed speech. Says don't move and then hits him with the icebreaker second time, which is kind of convenient based on how the domain is explained.
Yeah.
Like, and the curse techniques in the swords are random, and
Yeah.
even Yuta doesn't know which it is. But so far, he's gotten the thin icebreaker twice.
Yes, though there's an infinite amount of swords, so there's
Yes.
multiple thin icebreakers.
So, Yuta, his thing is, quote, Yuta really could have ended the series if he said hands up instead of don't move and made Sukuna put all 4 hands up, undoing the hollow wicker basket.
That's true, though.
But someone makes a good point. Well, actually, no, I just debunked my own thing because someone in the comments argued that Yuta, when he used cursed speech in Sendai, he also said don't move.
Yes, and when he used... Well, when he used it against Kuhaku, he said die. Because it was to the weaker spirits.
That's what I was just saying. And when he fought Gedo...
Because that's the thing. It's
die.
The harder the thing or the more powerful what you're trying to get them to do is, the more blowback / cost to it. And there's a good argument to be made that stopping someone from moving is a lot less than compelling action from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see like compelling action from someone stronger rather than just telling them to not do anything.
Yeah.
That would be my gay ghost rating.
But here's the thing, though. So what's Hollow Wicker Basket doing again? It's
another simple domain. It's one of the many weird simple domains.
Which just came out of nowhere, but yeah, everyone seems to know exactly what it does in the universe.
It's to stop the sure hit part, I'm pretty sure. He's only doing it to stop the sure hit Jacob's Ladder from hitting him.
Which, did that hit him before? Because I saw a panel that I didn't remember that it looked like it fucked. It fucked
blasted
up.
him.
And he was like...
But I thought it was supposed to turn your curse technique off or remove it, and it didn't do either of those things.
And then Yuji just sitting in here punching the fuck out of his soul.
I love this fucking panel where Rika just throws him like a fucking spear as a drop kick. It's just so silly. I love it. It's gonna look so good animated, though. Yeah.
So, here's a... But I do love that, because it's like, there's no way that Sukuna expected him to use Cleave at the end of that chapter.
In fact, especially when it just went through him summing up what he thinks all of Yuta's abilities are. Oh, I gotta reload this.
I was gonna say, your page is not loading? Yeah. So here's my question for you then. Do you think JJK ends inside this domain or no?
No, I don't think... I very sadly and solemnly say I don't think Yuta's going to make it out of this fight.
But if he doesn't, how does Yuji do anything? Who else has a fighting chance? You know what I mean?
Well, I think they could still cripple him once again. But I don't think Yuta's going to... Or I don't think he's going to be standing when it's over. Like, I think he'll at least be incapacitated to some degree.
Because we've been saying it forever. Yuji is going to be the one to deal the final blow.
We still don't have Fire Arrow or any explanation of what Sukuna's actual technique is.
Or what others he has.
Yeah, so, like, no. There's going to be another weird not plot twist, but just twist page turn where it's like, Yuta's won, Yuta's in half. Or Yuta's in a subway talking to Rika for a little bit suddenly. And then I cry and drop JJK. Though, there's another argument to be made. That with all of the love theming that they've been bringing up, both with Kenjaku being like, I'll show you the real love and the loss that comes with it. And then Sukuna talking about how he doesn't value love at all with like Kashimo and stuff. Who's the next best person to bring this thematic through line through? Authentic mutual love. Yeah. Yuta's whole character has been love. And Yuji's is not. So there is an argument to be made that maybe Yuta will be there when it ends.
I don't know, because it's like...
My problem is Hakure's still fighting Uruume. So they're going to show that. Maki's hasn't even been seen. I just feel like another twist is going to come and take Yuta at least out of the fight for a little bit. At the most generous, he's going to take a seat for a bit.
I get it why Maki's not around, because I don't see what Maki can do against either Uruume or Sukuna.
I was going to say maybe Uruume. Well, that's the thing with writing, though, is all that needs to happen is Gege's like, Maki's like so fast, and then Maki wins the fight. Just in the same way, Kenjaku fight, Yuta just so fast and sneaky, bro, and then Kenjaku loses the fight. So if Gege wants Maki to be able to speed blitz Uruume at any moment, he can make it that way. Mm-hmm. So I hate to say she's definitely the worst matchup, but in my brain, Ice Person beat Maki.
Well, in my brain, there's no universe where Uruume beats Hakuri.
I'm actually the opposite. I think there's no universe Hakuri beats Uruume.
Why?
Because she could just freeze him solid at some point. What is his super strength going to do when he's frozen in ice completely?
Break out of the ice and punch her in the face.
It freezes cursed energy.
And he has infinite, though.
But it's frozen.
You can't
move
freeze
it
infinity.
Or manipulate his body or energy.
I don't know.
And then Jackpot runs out and he dies.
Well, we both know Jackpot never runs out. The game's rigged.
Well,
it would have ran
out. If he can't make the hand sign again. Or if Uruume figures out that timing and freezes him right before that too, he's fucked.
I don't think so, because she's never seen anyone freeze. He's just thrown ice at people. I've never seen him freeze somebody.
At the end of Shibuya.
He didn't freeze anybody.
Well, he locked them all in place. All he'd have to do is a little bit more ice. Is that hard to imagine? It's covering Hakuri with more ice.
Yes.
He's one of the slowest characters we have on the field.
I'll tell you this right now. Ice is the shittiest power in existence.
Hard disagree.
Not for me, because if these people are fucking punching through steel cars, concrete buildings,
but you can't throw a punch while frozen. Yuji couldn't break out of the ice at the end of Shibuya.
Well, Yuji couldn't walk. No, as in he couldn't walk. He was done.
Yes.
He couldn't fight anymore.
Well, no, he was frozen there too.
Well, I would say
Uruume froze him, Panda. Everyone there that wasn't Yuki was frozen by Uruume at the same time, and then she was going to rain ice on them, and they're all like, "We're dead."
It's just Hakuri, though. He's third in the verse.
Oh no, Uruume 1v5 5 grade 1 sorcerers.
Grade 1's a shit.
Hakuri's grade 1.
Hakuri is a weird grade 1 because he would beat special grades.
I'm just saying.
Because even Yuta says he might not win in a one-on-one fight. Grades.
Maybe. Maki immediately contested that too.
Well, same thing.
The only reason Hakuri even beat Kashimo is because he led the man to water.
Hey, it's smarts, I guess. I don't know. I just Uruume is just useless to me.
He's the feetless man. He has no feats. Hakuri has 0 feats.
Either way, it's what is the narrative purpose for Hakuri to lose for Uruume to win and then just come back over? So it's at the point where there's literally no one else to fight. So you're just gonna make you. Fuck Maki.
Maki hasn't even been seen.
Exactly. And Yuki's over there.
And everyone else has been jumped.
And dead.
Hakuri's not going to beat that one-on-one.
I think so.
Never going to happen.
Okay, maybe he does it, then Maki comes in and helps him win. But either way, Hakuri's not going to die in the fight. Maki's not going to die in that fight. And Uruume is definitely going to lose. But there's no universe where Uruume comes out of whatever situation she's in victorious to then come help Sukuna.
I didn't say she'd come help Sukuna. I just said she'd beat Hakuri.
I think so. Maybe.
Hakury's
Gege
got
pulled some
nothing.
bullshit.
Hakury's only got hand-to-hand and sliding subway doors. That's not going to do shit to Urume. Those doors have done nothing. Speaking of feetless once again.
What did they even do?
Nothing. I think they're just regular subway doors. Yuji dodged and blocked them before, and Kashimo dodged them. They're just subway doors that appear. And I feel like you could just take it. Like,
they're just doors that
close on people. Don't touch these fucking things.
Either way, it's just, I don't even give a fuck about either one of them.
Not only...
Urume, since they came in, I just don't give two fucks about them.
That's the other crazy thing.
They can die off screen, for all I care.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen one flashback of them. But I'm just saying, not only did Hakury have to bring Kashimo to water, that one person he beat didn't even use a curse technique. And he still had to bring the motherfucker to a sea.
He didn't use just normal lightning? I know he didn't use...
The normal lightning's not his technique. It's just how his energy is. His technique's what he used to get Sukuna.
True.
So he fought a curse techniqueless man and still had to drag him to water.
I mean, Kashima's still a fraud anyway, so...
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I'm not trying to prop up Kashimo that much here.
The frauds here. Either way, I could give two fucks about Urume. I think she's just being used to not let the whole verse jump Sukuna.
Yeah.
At this point. But it's like, I'm same thing, because, like, Yuki's around somewhere.
No, she's dead.
Not Yuki. Fucking...
Maki.
No, the other one. The little bro syndrome person.
Yeah.
With the ravens. Her.
Oh, yeah, Mei.
Yes.
I think she probably fucked off by now, to be real.
Yeah.
She probably was like, yes, they dodged that attack. My attack's really good. Let me go watch the TVs.
Well, actually, yeah, because it's her that's letting... She's...
the one broadcasting. Yeah. Though they don't really need to broadcast anymore now that everyone's on the plan. I think she could just leave, like, the...
Well, I feel like I saw someone in here because they said something that they can't see inside the Yuta's domain.
Yes.
So it is still being broadcast. But she might not need to be there. But we know at least Ui was there 2 chapters ago. Because he teleported in with fucking...
Yeah.
What's his face that we thought was dead.
I mean, there's all the tools there to beat Urume. I just don't think the tool is just Hakury.
No. Just Hakury.
In fact, I think that's the biggest problem with Hakury, too, is an Urume that has her full attention, or his, I don't know, ambiguous gender, their full attention on one target is just a death sentence to anyone that's fighting right now, besides Sukuna himself. And Yuta. I'm pretty sure Yuta would be just fine. He snuck Kenjaku. He's fast.
Yeah, I don't think you're fucking with Rika.
Yeah, no. That's the other problem, too. Even if you freeze Yuta, Rika's going to bash
There's no universe where you're fighting Yuta one-on-one.
Hell, even if you freeze Rika, she'll just demanifest and manifest.
Yeah.
So, like, and then punch Yuta out. So everyone besides him, I think Urume could take one-on-one. But the moment it's like 2v2, because then it's like, Hakury comes this way, Maki comes this way, you are 3 pieces.
I don't know. It's just like maybe Sukuna keeps going. We need answers to like his past. We need to know why the Cullen Games is even happening.
We say that, but we're not gonna get any.
We ain't gonna get any of it.
We're not gonna get a fucking single bit. Kenjaku is like the biggest. What is that? Mining canary. Right now, the fact that we didn't get any of that like payoff on Sukuna things we wanted, I think is a mining canary for how the rest is gonna go.
You know what I think it is? I think Gege is just done with JJK.
I think he is.
Because he set Kenjaku up to be the mastermind of everything, and the dude got one panel defeated.
There was a fight before it, though. Let's not say the Takuma thing's not a fight.
The Takuma thing is nice.
That brings it up to 3 chapters.
But I don't think Takuma was at any point the reason Kenjaku lost, other than the fact that he was looking at Takuma when it happened.
I think it is, though. Because what was he saying right before that fight? Yuta has the most cursed energy, and he'll absolutely notice when Yuta moves. Why didn't he notice why Yuta moved? Because he's having a comedy show with the comedy guy.
Maybe.
So I think it played a big role, but that's still 3 chapters and 1 sword swing.
Yeah. Because Takaba did nothing to Kenjaku physically or damage-wise. He just distracted him the whole time.
Says that, like, he doesn't say damage. He said it was, like, wearing on him or something. Like, I think that what it was is all those comedy gags with them, like, hitting each other and stuff and, like...
Well, because he's inside, it's a domain expansion, right?
No, it's just how his curse technique works. It should have been a domain expansion with how it changed the fucking environment around them.
So, I mean, I'm sure his, like, cursed energy was being hit by Takaba type deal, like his reserves, you know what I mean? Kind of, I don't know.
It was also, like, I think it was that the gags don't hurt Takaba himself because he already found it funny. He's already kind of, like, immune to that thing. But all of his gags against Kenjaku were still, like, physically happening to him.
Yeah, like, drawing, like, fatigue-wise. Maybe it attacks his stamina or obviously his concentration because he didn't see that Yuta snuck up behind him. But it's like, you don't get any... Because that could have been a huge thing about, like... Or maybe it's just something I want to fixate on, that I want Yuji to realize that Kenjaku's was his mother.
I wanted that payoff, too. I really did. Not at the cost of taking Yuta's body, though. Thank you, KK. Thank you for not doing that. You really could have done
I really
that.
think it was like he came in this final arc-ish thing once Gojo came out of prison realm. He's like, well, fuck. Now I gotta have Gojo and Sukuna fight. But I can't have Gojo beat Sukuna because then this show's just over. Because then Gojo just, like, no diffs Kenjaku. Or everyone else just like, okay, Gojo, thanks for beating Sukuna. You go lay down and we'll do...
He could have thought of better answers, but he has a week to think of answers. Because imagine if that fight ended with Kenjaku taking Gojo's body. Now Gojo Jaku is the final boss.
Here's the thing, too. Is the cursed eyes a technique, or is it a physical eyes?
Both. He's born with them, but I keep seeing people refer to them as a technique, but they're not, because it's just your eyeballs. He doesn't have to activate them. They don't take cursed energy to use. In fact, it makes him more efficient at using cursed energy. I don't see a world where people consider it a technique to have innate better eyeballs.
Yeah. Unless you're Nuchiya.
Well, there's techniques used through your eyeballs, but your innate eyeballs is not the technique.
Yes. But
circles and squares.
Because I wonder if Kenjaku goes, if that was a situation where Kenjaku took Gojo's body, if he would be able to use Infinity.
I think you, personally, my reading, I think you would be able to, because it's still the special eyeballs in there.
Anyway.
But that's not how it went. We're ghost rating.
Yeah, so now we got Sukuna that was always... Sukuna has no development. He was always just a strong dude.
His development is like telling us his philosophy, but we have no context on how he got that philosophy.
And we also have no reason to give a fuck.
Yeah.
The entire time he's just
a tragic backstory.
He's just... I don't want one either. Because it's like, I don't give a fuck about Sukuna in any regard other than he's a strong fighter to fight. And that's all he should have been. But now he's the end-all, be-all bad guy. It's like, he's not the mastermind. Why is he the end-all, be-all... They should have... In my mind, Kenjaku should have been the one there at the end after Sukuna's dead. Then it's like, okay, now we go deal with Kenjaku, the mastermind. The one that put everything in motion. The one that behind fucking Shibuya. The one behind the entire fucking series. Yeah. It's all Kenjaku.
Sukuna how to turn himself into cursed objects.
Everything is Kenjaku. But now, Gege just decided, well, I guess it's Sukuna now. Because it's Sukuna.
And again, there's this like weird connection between Sukuna, Tengen, and Kenjaku that we still have no context over at all.
Yeah.
These three know each other clearly and had some sort of relationship with each other.
And again, JJK World just not sharing information. Tengen, why didn't you tell people?
Tengen's a woman. It's one extra doodle in one of the volumes, and Giga's like, this is Tengen. It's a woman.
Why does that not surprise me? Because you gotta follow the Naruto trio and
why not
have
just
two
give
dudes
me
and a
fucking flashback? Just fucking do it.
Also makes more sense because the star platinum or whatever girl is a girl.
Yeah. Kirara.
Sucks too. She died like literally right there.
Oh no, yeah. Yeah, Yuki, yeah.
Her name was Yuki too? No, the girl, the one that got shot in front of Gedo by Koji.
Oh, yeah, her. Yeah.
This, what is it called?
Rico.
The star
Plasma vessel.
Plasma
I fucking
vessel, yeah.
hated that name. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a tragic backstory for Sukuna if it wasn't to redeem him in the end. Like, he could still have the backstory that led him to his philosophy and how he was without us having to be like, it's okay
I don't care
in the end.
about a Sukuna flashback. I care about a Kenjaku flashback, and I know I'm not going to get it. Because you could put Sukuna in the flashback and answer any of the questions you have for Sukuna. Start with Kenjaku, figure out how he became this thing, how it led to him to meet in Sukuna, how it led him to turn Sukuna into a cursed object, or Sukuna
you
doing
still
this.
want a Sukuna flashback.
No, because I don't want a Sukuna-only flashback. I want a Kenjaku flashback. I don't want the opposite, where it's a Sukuna flashback, and suddenly, for 3 panels, he meets Kenjaku just to tell him how to fucking change. I want it the opposite. I want a Kenjaku flashback, where for 3 panels, Sukuna's in the flashback.
To be honest, what I really want is a Heian arc. I really just want, like...
Oh, you're not getting that.
I know I'm not getting that.
Definitely
That's
not getting
never
that.
happening.
Never. Gege wants to end it this
I
year.
really wanted, like... Could we have taken the United Nations sending their troops out and giving me, like, 2 chapters?
Taken out of nowhere.
It was such a good fucking cliffhanger, too. Like, actually, in the moment when the soldiers came in, it's like, oh, shit's going down.
And then it's like, wait, what? Before Shibuya? Even before Shibuya, Kenjaku was in the White House planning this shit?
And then it led to, like, the worst JJK chapter to date.
Yeah. And then Sukuna literally sat around and did nothing the whole time until he's like, for some reason, now's the time to take fucking Megumi's body.
Kenjaku also did fucking nothing until that moment. Until the soldiers and fucking Meguna. Like, they started doing shit around the same time because Gege did the everyone gets their fight for this arc.
Yeah. No, well,
to be fair, it was banging.
No, what
That
I'm
part
saying
was
is
banging.
because Kenjaku may have made his move then, but at the same time he's been plotting and planning the whole series. Sukuna's literally been sitting inside Yuji, just fucking doing nothing.
Well, planning to get Megumi. It's just
That's
a
it.
lot less plotted and planted.
Think the only reason he plotted and planned that was because he saw how fucked he got by Gojo in episode 1 at the early shit. He's like, I can't beat this guy without. I think
Sukuna needed
10 Shadows.
Well, no, Sukuna needed bigger context to know that 10 Shadows was that great early.
No.
A Heian flashback.
I think that
he knew from the first moment he saw,
because it wasn't until Shibuya when he fought Maharaga. Because he didn't know what Maharaga was. He knew, he recalled it the Yamato no Orochi. He's like, oh, you're similar to that. So he knew of it something similar. So he's like, okay, so yeah, that's what I need.
I still think he knew he needed that. First took over the body, and Urume's like, yes, I'm here. It's like, what do you want? It's like, I'll kill all the humans except for one.
Well, yeah, because of when he killed Yuji.
Maharaga wasn't even summoned for his body. He already made the Enchained deal at that point. He wanted Megumi's body before Maharaga even happened.
Yeah, so he wanted 10 Shadows, I think. And he knew that he had 10 Shadows. So he has...
On that somehow.
Yes. At least the 10 Shadows. Maybe... Because when he fought Maharaga, he gave no information to show that he knew what Maharaga was. Maybe he knew that there was something else with 10 Shadows. Like, oh, well, this Maharaga thing's pretty cool. So, I mean, it works out anyway.
But he did know that Megumi didn't know he could hide his weapons in his shadows and move through his shadows. So he had more knowledge on 10 Shadows than Megumi did at first.
Yeah. Really, all he did. Because I think the whole thing was like, when he... Because Megumi was there, too, with Gojo and Yuji in the first things. But it could just be that they didn't really just interact at all. No. It was really just... Fuck it. Well, he did a little bit, but I don't think Megumi. He used a Shikigami, but
He used like a wolf.
yeah, or maybe
that thing.
Nue. But it's like it might not have even been obvious that it was 10 shadows. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
dude's got a Shikigami,
Shikigami.
type thing. But I think it was he saw how strong Gojo was. Is like, well, if I'm gonna return in this age, I need something,
I need the thing that beat Six Eyes in Infinity.
or just more in my bag. I think because here's the thing. Sugin had his trump card of that cursed object that did the full heal thing, which I don't attribute that to meaning that he's stronger than Gojo. I think Gojo would.
I've seen other people try to say
Because
that.
that's okay, but then give Gojo.
He would have used that out the gate if it was enough to kill Gojo.
Well, I view it as like a second life, which is what it is. Because
Yeah, like why waste your heal?
Yeah, you both start at 100%, and say you get Gojo down to 20% HP, and he takes you down to 0. But now you use that item, you're back at 100%, or back at 80 or something. Because he's not fully back from the fight of Gojo. But now Gojo's still at 20, so you keep fighting and you win. That doesn't mean you're stronger than Gojo. You used a cursed item. Gojo didn't use any through the whole fight.
Yeah.
I think without 10 shadows, Sukuna versus Gojo, Gojo wins.
I think so too. Again, I think if he didn't need 10 shadows that bad, he would have gone back to his original form the moment Tsumiki died. Because that's exactly what he said. He wanted to break Megumi's soul completely, so he has no more influence over him. I think
because that would have been fucked too if you say Gojo. I think Gojo fucked up in the sense that I don't know how weak he was after coming out of Prison Realm, but I think Gojo should have fought Kenjaku and Sukuna right there because he came out of Prison Realm standing right in front of him. If he was at 100%, I think he wins that fight because Sukuna at that point didn't have the bath for Megumi. He didn't eat the rest of the fingers. Megumi was still influencing him, so he's fucking weak as fuck. And Kenjaku ain't doing nothing to Gojo.
I don't know about that. Gravity's not... doesn't... I mean, I don't know how gravity would affect with Limitless.
I don't think it would affect it. I think it'd be the same way as everything else. Because gravity still has to interact with you on,
On top of the domain problem still, though, because both of them have open domains. So would Kenjaku be able to break it from the outside too, and then sure hit gravity?
So that would be the thing then too, because having a second person there to fight with
That's
you.
the other problem. Yeah, you can't focus on the problem at hand if there's two strong opponents.
But I think it says something to the fact that both, because this is also almost immediately after fucking Sukuna took Jacob's ladder to the face.
Yeah,
he wasn't.
That was a good time to at least
This is like a little bit after, you know. I mean, Sukuna's fucked up too right now. So they even said it too. They nobody wanted this. None
no
of
one
anyone
wanted
in
the
the
smoke that day.
Jojo didn't want it. They didn't want it. They're like, we'll come back to this.
And I would have brought up that Uruume is there, but then I just had a flash of the last time Uruume was in Gojo's vicinity. Who are you? Just fucking blasted Uruume.
Yeah, wasn't that in the same panel though, right there?
I was when I think the actual fight started.
I didn't think I thought it was when he came out of Prison Realm. Uruume tried to attack him, and he just
was it then? I thought it was when after the Hollow Purple, because Uruume was there.
I don't remember the first or second Hollow Purple.
The 120% Hollow Purple. Where the goddamn Christ is Gakuganji and what's her face?
Dude's got to whip out that guitar, man.
They could be buffing everybody right now.
They could be, but you know, they're useless. Oh yeah, see, it is right after he came out because that's what he was wearing when he came out of Prison Realm.
I thought he was wearing that whippy scarf.
Let's see,
I thought he was wearing that whippy scarf when he came out of Prison Realm.
Yeah, actually his shirt was all fucked up. But see, my thing is because the whole time he was fighting, he was wearing white pants. He's wearing all black right here, so I don't know when this was. This is funny though. I love this part. this real? Oh, because see here, he's got the black pants. And it's the chapter of the Nah I'd Win chapter. He did get, like, completely...
Wrecked.
No
difft. Sadly, the results aren't very helpful with it, though.
No, they're really not. But either way, Urume
blasted
means nothing. Ice ain't gonna do nothing to fucking Limitless. Just one red takes him out because I don't think Ice would block the
teleporting. Takes him out.
That too.
That's the thing. That's why I don't believe in Hakuri, because Hakuri doesn't have speed feats. Hakuri's not a fast character. He can heal, and it's been helping so far. But I think the moment he gets frozen, he is fucked.
So look at 221. Let's try that. I'm just gonna go to chapter 221. Just skim through the fucking chapter. Or not, because this is just terrible. Well, Gojo's only been out that long.
Yeah, it has not been long.
Yeah, they clash a little bit. He's like, "You've changed, Megumi." Yeah, it's literally
yeah. Who are you after punching him?
Yeah, because he's because he calls Sukuna sad, and he's like, Urume's like, "How dare you? Who the fuck are you?"
Blasted. I just hope there's something to help add some more depth to this end here, instead of just an RPG boss battle. Even that's actually generous, because RPGs have like 60 hours to build up a main villain and give him context and reason.
Right.
I just need something more. I feel like if the rate it's going, they're just gonna kill Sukuna with no context at all, and it's gonna be that was truly our Jujutsu Kaisen at the end.
That's probably what's gonna happen.
That's gonna be so sad. It's gonna be the middest ending I've ever heard.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe we get a everything flashback of Tengen,
But for what it's worth, yeah.
Sukuna, and Kenjaku.
Yeah. So maybe while they're at it, whoever those original 10 Shadow users and 6 Eye
Like,
users was.
You don't need to pull an Oda and have all of your flashbacks be like 10 chapters long and go super in depth and tell an entire story. Like, that's a One Piece flashbacks always seem to do. They're always like a flashback's its own self-contained story that goes through, like, it covers all of the beats, and it's like sometimes
I want that so much. I want it so hard, because they've dropped so many nuggets here.
But you could do it faster than that. You know what I mean? Like, you can cover all the beats, but you don't have to go through.
I want it all. I want the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many little bits here and there that they've dropped. And I just... Like, the fact that Angel called him, like, the disgraced one. Almost like he was with them and then betrayed them when he went to become a monster. But again, we don't have any bit of this curve. We don't have the human Sukuna. We don't have turning into a monster Sukuna. We don't have how he turned into a monster.
Who were the dudes that beat him the first time?
It's like...
But again, I don't really care too much about the Sukuna side of things. You could cover all of that in a chapter. It's the Kenjaku that needs the way more info dump on Kenjaku is what is needed. Sukuna has no depth to his character that can be explored more than I'm strongman. Strongman does strongman things. That's
For now, unless they did an actual flashback.
But then even if they did, then it's just you're fucking hamstringing bullshit in to make Sukuna more compelling now because you got rid of your compelling villain.
No, I think there's always been a compelling line. He just should have done this 2 arcs ago instead of in the final fight.
Yeah, which is a problem because Kenjaku's the one that's had all of the 2 arcs ago stuff.
Yeah.
So the Kenjaku payoff is what we should be getting, but we're probably going to get bullshit stuff down our throat.
Probably just going to get the fight ending.
You're probably going to get internal monologue of Sukuna
him just telling me.
Yeah, he's going to expose you.
That'll make me really angry, actually. If he just tells the audience all the things I want to know with no visuals or anything. He's just like, this really reminds me of back in the day when I threw away my humanity on the altar of the... Sorry, I had to make it like John Wary, like...
Yeah.
On the altar of transmutation.
That time Kenjaku told me that I could do this.
That's like when I sacrificed my lover to get an extra mouth and 2 arms. Alright, I'm going to keep fighting now. Wait, what? Huh? What? Excuse me, Sukuna? Because I still care about how he turned out like this. To some degree. Because they keep saying he was a sorcerer that turned into this.
I think it's just a Kashimo instance. He got so strong and wanted to go to the next thing.
You don't just get arms.
Well, no, I think it's literally just all that. It's just that. Kashimo got so strong that in his time that there was no one to beat. So instead of going out and looking for the next thing to progress in, he just fucking wallowed away in his self. But then Sukuna had the maybe the fortune to meet Kenjaku or whoever, and it's just some kind of ritual. It's got to be something with the cursed wound perfusion or whatever the fuck it's called. I
don't think he made him that way.
With the sick, it's you're turning into a cursed spirit type thing.
He turned him into a cursed object. He already had 20 fingers when he did it, so he had to have had the 4 arms when he turned them into.
So maybe objects. He turned himself into a cursed spirit.
Though there was our other theory that the Culling Games has happened before, and maybe that's how he turned into this, and Kenjaku set that up to turn him into that.
That's another thing I fucking loathe. I just hate the whole concept of the Culling Games. We're going to bring people back to life from different periods of time just so that they can fight each other. Go fuck yourself. And then not give an explanation on what the reason for all of this is.
That's what I mean, too. It's all still there. Just one 5-chapter hand flashback an arc ago would have done it.
The only thing we can be is whatever the thing that they keep alluding to with Tengen, that they want to bring back or make everyone sorcerers or something.
Merge them into one giant meatball.
Yeah, and Sukuna doesn't give a fuck about that plan anyway, so he just kind of wants to exist.
Also, they keep saying it's like make it like the fate of the world, but wouldn't it only combine like the people in Japan?
Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing.
It's one flashback could have solved it, but it's getting way too late. More and more. If anything, they should have done what they did with fucking Gojo. Right before Yuna cuts his head off, give us some sort of flash. Like literally, the Takuma fight starts to end. We get the flashback, and then when we come out of the flashback, Yuta's there in that pose already.
Or his head's off.
You know what? Yeah. That would have been even more perfect because it would have been like a physical example of him losing that focus. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He's literally daydreaming about then, and then Yuta's here.
And his head's off, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
shit. It would have been perfect. 2-chapter. A 2-chapter flashback, or 1-chapter flashback. Just any flashback.
Info.
I've never wanted flashbacks more in a series. I thought Naruto killed them forever.
Naruto filler killed them forever.
Naruto swinging on the swing killed it forever.
Yes. They used that thing in way too much bullshit. Please stop. Terrible.
No, I want flashbacks. To read Wild Strawberry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It was alright. Yeah, nothing really
Yeah.
stuck out. Like, oh, neat to talk about this.
Man shoots like Mina Asui.
Oh, there is something I want to say. The power scaling just fucking skyrocketed in this chapter.
Blam!
Fucking railgun, and then whatever the guy did at the end too is like.
Oh, that's what I wanted to say.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Kingo is like Denji with one fucking brain cell.
Yeah. Me fight.
If we see you turning into a Jinko, we'll kill you. The stuff's happening. Someone's in danger! Out myself!
Basically.
Literally, it took him half a chapter to completely, like, lose the strategy and just out himself.
Here's my thing, though. How is he ever supposed... Because, like, did he out himself? Because it's like...
I don't know if
everyone else that uses these powers, where are they getting the powers from? The shears?
The shears, because everyone else there has them but Kinko. Kinko doesn't even have them on his person to keep up an illusion that that's what they're coming from.
True.
That's the part that shocks me. I'm sure they're going to have some sort of thing they already like, oh, nah, it's just on something else on him or something. Well, I hope that they thought about
Imagine
this.
that's just half a chapter he blew his cover.
Next chapter, next chapter we open it up and both of the people from his squad are just staring agape, being like, he's really that stupid.
Yeah, I mean, they should have thought.
They really should have thought. I almost thought they shouldn't even have sent Kingo here. He should have been like, maybe like observing from a distance or something. I don't know. But he still would have done
Makoto
this.
should have been the one to jump in there.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
But it was good.
Yeah, it's good.
Good chapter. When I saw 27 pages, I was like, oh no, but it went by like fucking lightning.
Yeah, it did. It's good, though. I enjoy Wild Strawberry, so.
I do too.
I do not.
That was another one, though. This was actually the one I had this criticism for. I just mixed it up with JJK in my head. They literally said, this mission will determine the fate of the world. Bitch, it's like a just Japan problem, once again.
Literally.
This is not the fate of the world. This is the fate of your country, sir. Get some perspective.
And I think you could easily just evacuate the areas and just dump pesticide all over the fucking... Or formaldehyde or something. Whatever you do to kill plants.
Blast it.
I think dropping nukes would probably be... Does
that kill plant life, too? Like, did Chernobyl lose a lot of plant life?
Well, no. If you look at Chernobyl, plant life is...
Well, now it's reclaimed. But yeah. I mean, like, at the time of...
I don't think so. But I'm sure the immediate explosion would take immediate care of it.
It's like carpet bomb the whole fucking thing, man.
Because it atomizes everything within the first... I think it's... I don't want to
just drop it on the Mother Chica.
Yeah, drop a nuke on the
I'm
Mother
surprised they haven't already. Is the rest of the world completely defunct wastelands or something?
Because they do specifically say this is a Japan-only problem, right?
So the Mother Chica sprouted there, and like the further out, the less pollen, which I would assume
well, because that's another thing too, right? Because you can't just quarantine the whole island of Japan and be like, okay, no one in or out will keep this in there, and they can deal with it because it's pollen, so it's in the air. So I would assume that'd be pretty easy for this to move into China and then start spreading to the rest of the world. Because China's they're not that far off the coast to each other.
Follow like rain patterns though? Wouldn't it generally speaking move eastward to westward?
Yeah, which means to China.
No. I'm sorry. I might do completely backwards. Westward to eastward. Wouldn't it cross the Atlantic? We get acid rain from stuff that happens in China. That's because the clouds come over from that side.
That totally makes sense because they're up here and we're spinning this way. Yeah. So whereas the sun rises in the east because we're moving west. No, we're moving east.
Yeah, it's
So everything in the air would move westwards.
Yeah. So I think the pollen would cross the ocean and probably, in all actuality, not make it across the entire ocean.
So maybe.
That'd be my guess. But the other thing is, if you go to evacuate the island, then there's the argument that the people that caused that problem will evacuate with them.
Yeah.
And then just spread that problem.
Because, as we've seen now, it's a person problem, not
the
a random...
worst problem to fix.
Yeah, it's not a problem of nature. So
Just bomb it all.
Especially how the U.S. is represented in anime and manga.
Especially with how the U.S. is. You're telling me if a Mother Chica sprouted up in a country like that, it started parasitizing entire populations, that we wouldn't immediately carpet bomb them? Pirates blocked a trade channel, and in less than a day we were bombing their country. We will absolutely bomb the plant zombies.
I think it depends on where it comes from.
That's also true. If it was the UK, that's sad.
Well,
that's so sad. I think we might still, if it's a problem we're concerned with spreading. Because then the more time you wait to carpet bomb them.
No, it's not. Ah, screen rant. Pissing me off.
No.
Sorry.
No worries.
Jujutsu Kaisen Super Bowl spot proves it's time to update the big three. No, it's not. But
right, point is, I do think we would carpet bomb the Towers plant monster.
100%. But alright, and even if we didn't,
another country that doesn't like us would.
It's like, alright, so it's like giant Mother Chica shows up in real life Tokyo.
You're telling me China right next door, in visual eye shot of this fucking thing, is going to use its 300 intercontinental ballistic missiles it can shoot from the mainland that would absolutely reach Japan.
Faster than anyone could do anything about it.
No fucking way that wouldn't happen. There's no fucking way. So is the rest of the world already in apocalypse mode?
Because I know that any of the U.S. intercontinental ballistic missiles can be anywhere in the world in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Launched from the U.S., the missile will be at its target in 45 minutes. I don't know what missile
I was specifically thinking of, because I watched a whole video about defending Taiwan, and they do have specific missiles set up on that mainland that could hit like any military outpost a certain amount outward.
Yeah.
So it's obviously different, but it's probably higher yield than...
Well, either way, because any one of those, Japan's literally right next door. Any one of those missiles could be in Japan in 20 minutes max.
Yeah.
That's not enough time for anyone to stop it.
You're telling me they didn't carpet bomb that fucking thing? I know.
Maybe they did do it.
If I was living in that country and I saw that fucking thing in eye shot, and then I start hearing about the things it could fucking do...
Because here's my thing, too. We don't really see what did damage to all the buildings, and we don't really see, like, buildings are still standing. So maybe it was carpet bombed, but then we found out, we can't carpet bomb them. Nothing kills them.
It's not doing anything to it.
So maybe you can only kill Chico. Well, no, they came in with those flamethrowers and fucking killed them in the beginning. So
maybe they gave up when it wouldn't destroy the Mother Jinka. Like, maybe it survived, and they're like, well, that's causing the problem, and we can't stop it.
It comes
into give up wasting our money with the bombs,
or it brings in a Independence Day problem.
I haven't seen Independence Day.
You haven't seen Smack you across your face. Go watch Independence Day. That movie's fucking awesome. The UFOs, one of them was attacking a city, so the president in the movie made the tough call to shoot a nuke at it. And he was like, God helps all. They shoot the nuke. It goes at it. Hits the fucking thing and blows up, but then they get video coverage afterwards. The nuke blew up the city because but the UFO survived.
Oh,
and they were willing to sacrifice the city if it meant destroying the thing, but it didn't destroy the ship.
And they sacrificed the city.
Yes. So what if it was one of those things where they dropped a bunch of bombs in the Mother Chica, fucked everyone around it, but then
it was fine.
And it was fine. And they're like, well, fuck.
We're done making more international incidents. Thank God they can't retaliate.
Black Lily just sitting there. I don't know what they get out of this, though.
I have no fucking clue.
What do you get
Maybe they just worship plants.
Maybe. I don't know. I just don't see what what an organization would get out of setting the world into like a post-apocalyptic thing. Set in Japan into this. Because then it's like they probably founded the funeral force. But then it's like, okay, you found it, but now you have all these people working for you that have all these superpowers. But not all of them work for you because you're supposed to be the shadow organization.
They're also feeding your plants.
Exist.
I mean, all of those people that are in that superpowered super force are being parasitized as they speak.
True.
So I mean, you're still kind of winning.
Hmm.
Especially if we find out at some point, which I'm sure we will, that some people are more special to them and tasty to the Jinkas. I mean, it's a pretty common trope, like strong person tastes better. So I bet that the Jinkas almost like feeding off of these strong people.
And then it's probably going to be about that the Jika that bit his sister was different because she turned into a Jika and then she went into him.
I almost bet they're like plant radicalists. They're like, we want to make self-conscious plants because they deserve a seat at the table.
And sit next to them are Gijins.
Almost like The Happening, but giving them self-consciousness. Like The Happening was like a movie where the deforestation, the plants learn to respond by releasing a pollen that makes people kill themselves.
I think I know that movie. It's the ones that people were just falling out of the sky.
Yeah,
right?
Jumping on their fences and shit. Yeah. It was the trees.
I was going to say, yeah, it was the wind blowing through the trees they found out at the end of the movie, right?
Yeah.
They're all standing in the field or some shit.
So I almost wonder if they're like, we want to make that happen. How dare we step on the grass?
Was that a good movie?
I didn't watch it.
Oh.
Because I almost couldn't believe that it would be a good movie.
That's what I'm saying. Because I'm like, I sit there and I remember seeing the trailers and it's like, this looks interesting enough to give it a shot. But it also looks bad enough to make me stop watching.
It also looks kind of gross too. There's people like jumping down in front of fucking lawnmowers and jumping on fences and shit. I'm like, one thing I can tell you is that every single person that told me what the twist is in that movie did not seem to be pleased with the twist in that movie.
That it was the trees?
Yeah. Not a single person was like, and it was the trees. No, it was always, and it was the trees the whole time. Somebody was like, I knew it'd be the trees.
You know what I'll watch a 10-minute recap video on that.
Find an AI summary.
Those things everywhere. I've watched a lot of those.
I've watched Nux react to them.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, you should keep it that way.
He blew up. I remember when he had like 50,000 subscribers. He blew up quick too.
When he made nice essay, analytical content.
Now he makes meme content.
It speaks in a language of just Gen Z memes.
We lost another one.
Whatever. I think we should call it there.
Yaman.
Yaman. Next time we'll talk about 2 Dandadons.
Yes. Well, 3. I don't think we mentioned... Did we mention Dan last week's chapter?
I think we did.
Oh. Whatever, we'll just talk about
I
Dan.
think we did multiple last time, too.
And we'll start preparing our fucking lists.
Yes, fights.
Yes, top 10 fights in anime. In our opinions. That's gonna be a tough fucking list.
It is.
It's gonna be hard. Hard as balls. I'm gonna throw a meme one in there.
The fact we're excluding manga actually excludes one of the best anime manga fights.
What's that?
Soko versus Crollo.
That's a good one.
Came back into my head because we talked about it last week.
Yeah, I just don't think that because... I mean,
to be
maybe...
fair, I've read so few mangas that it doesn't actually add all that much real estate to the list. I'd rather just stick to animes.
Yeah, because you'd maybe put that one, and I would put the Tenjo Tenge one. Which is sad, because Tenjo Tenge is never getting another anime.
No.
Not in your life.
It's not getting the Rurouni Kenshin Shaman King treatment.
No. Which is unfortunate, because I would totally love for that to happen.
My name's Soichiro Nagi.
I fucking hate him. I really do. I am way more invested in Mitsuomi than I am.
It wasn't Tatsuomi, it was Mitsuomi.
Yeah,
there we
yeah.
go.
Way more interested in him and his story. And Bunchichi and Sheen.
They're not the main character.
They definitely fucking are, though.
That is from that
not.
weird era in the 90s where there's always the audience insert character. Always.
Yes.
Your Kagomes. Well,
You're Vaughn.
It's a little. Yes, Vaughn is the ultimate example. So I was gonna say it's a little less harsh back in those days because they actually had character to their like audience inserts.
No.
Like Kagome has a character, Nagi has a character, but they're still more like an audience to the world around them.
From your friendly neighborhood reminder that Inuyasha is totally an isekai.
It is. I'm gonna start rewatching Inuyasha the other day.
Why would you do that to
Because I
yourself?
thought of the ending once, and it hit me with so much nostalgia
We'll get
that
him
it almost got me
someday.
back in. Not that ending. I mean, like the OP
Oh, the
ending theme. The first one that has a glowing Ferris wheel in it. And I thought of that one shot, and my stomach literally like with nostalgia, like it turned in my belly.
So a friend of ours sent me a Facebook reel video thingy today of a couple reacting, like they split their screen so they'd stand on each side of if they thought it was a banger or not of a bunch of Naruto openings. First off, they had one of the only two good entire ones. There's two good ones. That's it.
There's one good one.
Two, and it's not even the one you think it is.
It's just Bluebird.
But so I watched the video, and I say that to him. I was like, because the dude in the video said that all of them were bangers. He was just on that
That's
side
a
the whole
lie.
time. I was like, that's a fucking lie. So I said that to him. I was like, Naruto has 2, at best 3 good openers out of like 50. And
Maybe Fighting Dreamers.
that's one of the ones for me. And he comes back at me. He sent me this video, by the way, and he just comes back at me. It's like, I skip openings. Oh, he says I skip them
So
all.
no wonder why you have no palate for them.
But I'm like, why'd you send me this video, though? He goes like this. He's like, it was a short conversation. I go, Naruto has 2 good openings. Maybe 3. He says, I skip openings. And endings. Just give me the show. It's like, I'll always listen to both once. And if it's a banger, I'll keep watching it every time.
I'll watch it the first time of the session, each session I watch.
Yes,
Unless
I
it
remember
sucks.
you saying that.
If it sucks, I will skip it every time.
And he said, nope, 4 minutes of non-show. So he skips it.
Why'd he send you it?
I don't know. I was like, so were you trying to say that all of these were good? Like, I don't know what he was. I don't know.
It's brutal.
I don't know. But, whatever. It's just something I thought about today. Yeah, so that one and Fighting Dreamers, and there's another one in the tuning exam. So
Stop.
Nope. I'm going to find it, and I'm going to send it to you.
Because I know which one you're probably thinking of. That 3, 2, 1, make some noise.
No.
Everybody stand up.
No.
I hate that one so much.
It's so bad.
So bad. Oh, I see the visual in my mind for it because it shows them in the final arena
I ain't gonna
spinning
take
and all
your
of them change.
opinion on this because you're the one that's saying the new JJK opener sucks.
It
and
does.
It's awesome.
It is awful.
You are my special.
You are my special.
No, it's great. It fits so perfectly. Everybody loves it but you.
That's a lie. That's an absolute lie.
Its meme is everywhere. Everybody loves it.
That's an absolute
Show
lie.
me
The
someone
amount
that
of
doesn't.
people shitting on it
No.
when they dropped it on fucking Eugene clawing the earth, crying, and they come in, you are my specials. Do 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 do.
Everyone loves that song.
That's a lie.
It's not.
That is an absolute
Everybody
lie.
loves that opening of JJK fans. They're all over it.
It's a complete lie.
It's not though. Everyone
It's
I
not.
see all over the place, they love it.
Memeing it doesn't mean loving it. They
They
meme
meme
it
it
was,
in a good way.
I
Not
saw
in
them.
a condescending
I saw it in a
piece of shit.
condescending way, like putting it over other death scenes in other animes because they thought it was stupid.
But either way. Holy shit, that's a lot of text on a fucking... Oh, it's a maze. Oh, I thought this was text scrolling, and it's a fucking maze. But yeah, so... We'll be back next week. Not with the top 10s. That'll be the week after.
With the top 10s.
It gives 2 weeks to work on that. We'll do our third top 10 for our... whatchamacallit? 1 year anniversary video. Right? Dukes of Weebdom!
Dukes of Weebdom!
Episode 50. Take care, y'all.